So there was a basketball game that went on today. South Carolina women's basketball team is on the way to the Sweet 16. South Carolina women's basketball team is on to Birmingham, Alabama. Not sure what's going on in Birmingham, Alabama. Not sure if they're ready for Captain Will and Wifey Will, but we showing up and going to show out in Birmingham, Alabama. South Carolina women's basketball team defeated the Indiana Hoosiers 64-53. Cap Will already been doing some day drinking today. So what you have right here is a Moscow Mule. Moscow Mule, and I kept the cup going back to the crib with me. Going back to the crib. I call it a souvenir for the South Carolina women's basketball team, the three-time national champions. Moving on to the Sweet 16, then the Elite 8, then Tampa. So in order of this big-time win of South Carolina handling Indiana, it's shot o'clock. So I'm doing a shot o'clock, especially for this young lady named Marion. Marion, this for you. Thank you. Love meeting you and your niece. Thank you. Love meeting everybody. It's shot o'clock for you. Cheers. Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will as I continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks only as I can do. Because you're now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Oh, yeah, we got a good one today, y'all. South Carolina won by 11 points. We didn't win by 22.5 points. We didn't. We won by 11. We shot horrifically in the first half. It was pretty ugly. Not pretty. It was pretty ugly for South Carolina basketball. Had 5 turnovers in the first quarter. 5 turnovers. It wasn't the prettiest basketball that South Carolina had. But you know what? We won. We won by double figures against a team in Indiana who's 32nd ranked in the net rankings, a solid basketball team. And I can complain about the officials. They weren't very good. They played physical against us, and we didn't get some calls that we should have gotten. I can complain about that, but I'm not. I'm not going to complain about that. What we had in today's basketball game was an uneven brand of basketball for South Carolina. First quarter, we scored 9 points. 9 points. It was terrible. It was terrible basketball that first quarter. Second quarter, we scored 16 points. Third quarter, we played Carolina basketball. We had 26 points. They had 14. We played 1 quarter of great basketball offensively. Just one quarter. It was enough to win by double digits. This wasn't our A game. This is probably, after it's all said and done, probably a B minus game, if you want to keep it real. I mean, just keep it real. Offensively, we weren't there. But we won. We still shot the ball almost 50% from the field. Ladies and gentlemen, the first half, we were shooting about 32% from the field. For 32.5% from the field in the first half. It was ugly. It had a bunch of turnovers. So you know we had to come to Jesus meeting in the locker room. You know some clipboards getting broke. It was some things being thrown at it. But you know it was a whole lot of things that was being said in that meeting during the halftime. We came out and shut them down. This was a basketball game that I thought that our post players would play sensational. I thought the defense Indiana has for the season in terms of post play defense or in terms of 2-point percentage allowed was about midway. It's about 168th in the country. That third quarter is when we put domination into 2-point percentage. I could call that third quarter is the Chloe and Sania quarter. That's what I can say. It was uneven basketball. Uneven basketball. We had 12 turnovers. 12 turnovers in the basketball game. It seemed like we had more, but we had 12. 12 turnovers is the normal turnover, normal turnovers per game for South Carolina. But it just seemed like it was uneven. There was a lot of different miscues in the first quarter. Not as many in the second quarter, but first quarter was ugly. We had 25 points for the quarter. We had 26 points in the third quarter. Wasn't a fan. But you look at it, this is why, you got to play 4 quarters. You have to play 4 quarters of basketball to beat South Carolina. You have to. You can keep it close, and Indiana kept it close. First quarter, they won that by 3. Second quarter, we won that by 2. Fourth quarter was even, 13-13. Now, I take out the fourth quarter because Don took the air out of the ball in the fourth quarter and tried to get the game over. I saw it. You saw it. We all saw it. But ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake about it. South Carolina shot 44% from the field, shot 39% from the three-point line, shot 69% from the free throws. And it was not a good night of shooting free throws, but we out-rebounded them. Offensively, defensively, we had more assists. Or we had 3 less assists. Let me correct that. We had more block shots. It was some performances in this basketball game that we have to discuss. We have to discuss. When was the last time, if ever, you had 2 guards in back-to-back games, 2 guards, both under 5'10", have 4 block shots each? MiLaysia Fulwiley was on Friday. She had 4 block shots against Tennessee Tech. Well, Tahina Powell had 4 block shots against Indiana. We had 7 total. Somebody told Tahina Powell that she could block shots because she was killing the game today in block shots. It don't matter if you block the shots on the perimeter or you block the shots in the post. As long as it's a block shot, I don't care. I don't care. It made no difference to me. Her stat line was crazy. You gave me 28 minutes. 28 minutes, 4 for 6 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 4 block shot, 1 turnover, 9 points. That is crazy. That stat line is sick. If we look at that straight up offensively and defensive, stats. 4 block shots, 2 steals. Man, Powell played some ball. It could have been because I had my jersey on. I ain't taking credit. I ain't taking credit, but it was a good omen. It was a good omen. So we go to Birmingham, taking the Fulwiley jersey, the Powell jersey, the Raven jersey, Joyce jersey. We going all the way in. We're going all the way in on this one right here, all the way. But I just loved her stat line today. It was nice. Can we sit down? And all agree. Can we sit down in unison and say that Chloe Kitts is something else? Can we say that? Can we say right now on March 23rd, 2025 at 6:29 p.m., can we say that Chloe Kitts is South Carolina's best player offensively and defensively? She's led this team in rebounds all season long. You talking about tonight, 25 minutes, 4 for 9 from the field, 1 for 1 from the three-point line, 1 for 2 from the free throw line, 11 points of those, 11 rebounds. Of those 11 rebounds, 2 of them were offensive, 3 assists, 1 steal, only 1 turnover, and 10 points. Here's the thing. In the first half, Chloe had 0 points. Had about 4 rebounds, if I remember correctly. Came out in the second half, especially that third quarter, and played like an all-star. Like, we ain't gonna lose. We ain't gonna lose. And all the jibber-jabber that Indiana was said, and the whole crazy thing that we are a smarter basketball team than South Carolina. We are a smarter basketball team than Carolina. Got it. Got it. Well, have fun on your bus ride to the airport. Have fun. The smarter team is out. Okay? The smarter team is going back to the crib, right? I don't know why, man. I don't. It boggles my mind sometimes when coaches don't think when they're saying stuff. It really does. It boggles my mind. It's just certain things you don't say, and it's certain things that's said by some coaches, and certain things that certain coaches can say, and then Dawn Staley say it, and then it's a big old headline. Going back to the crib. Gone back to the crib. Y'all out. Talked all that yin yang and back home. It irritates me. It really do. It irritates me for the disrespect that Carolina gets. Carolina is in the Sweet 16 once again and going to Birmingham, and is still the odds-on favorite to win the national championship. And that's according to Vegas, not by Captain Will. Sania Feagin, 28 minutes, 5 for 10 for the field, 10 points, 3 rebounds, couple assists. Sania Feagin started out very slow. Very slow. That third quarter, it was on. It was on for Sania, and it finished out with a really nice stat line. Were there too many turnovers? Yes. Sania had 3 turnovers. She had 3 turnovers. If you combine the turnovers that Sania and Joyce had, they had 8 total turnovers out of the 12. Could that be a problem in the Sweet 16? Possibly. But I know down low, she's a load. I know that. I know she can score the basketball. I know those things. I know she can play some defense. And Indiana plays a really good offense. They have, they're cutting and the triple screens and all stagger screens and all these different things that they do to get people open. And it did a solid job. I thought our post was going to play very well. Chloe played very well. Sania played okay. She played okay. Her 10 points could have easily been about 16 points. Easily. Joyce, she had a tough game. She had a tough game. 23 minutes, 2 faith in the field, 1 for 2 from the free throw line, 5 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. She had 5 turnovers. This was a tough game for her. Coming from the last game where she was sensational with 22 points in this basketball game, it was tough. It was tough. These are the moments where you say, okay, she's a freshman. She's a freshman. But also these are the moments where you lean on the players who've been there before in Sania and Chloe. Those are the things that happen. Those are why you have those veterans. Those are the reasons that they are there. They are there. It's a lot of different situations, a lot of different comments, a lot of different things that said about a couple of players on the South Carolina women's basketball team every single time we play. One of those is Bree Hall. Breezy had a sensational basketball game today. 33 minutes, 11 points, 4 for 6 from the field, 3 for 4 from the three-point line, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 0 turnovers. Breezy played her butt off. And Raven played well. Raven had 29 minutes, 2 for 7 for the field, 1 for 2 for the free throw line, 5 points, 1 turnover, a couple assists, 3 big rebounds, 1 steal. Both of them played well, but Breezy played exceptionally well in this basketball game. It's this cool stat, right? Because some of the cats on this chat room will talk about those 2 ladies in the regard that we can't win a championship with Bree and Raven starting. First of all, okay, they started last year and we won a championship. Let's forget that. Can we say that? The year before that, we lost in that semis and could have won another championship. what is not on the stat sheet, because cats will say, oh, she only had 4 points. She only had 6 points. Oh, she ain't doing that on offense. We can't do this. We can't do that. The fact of the matter is, and this is basketball 101 coming to you from Captain Will from my dear, dear heart. The fact of the matter is, when you have Bree Hall and you have Raven Johnson starting a game and playing 30 minutes a game, because that's probably what they're going to play the rest of this tournament, 30 minutes a game. You have 2 players. 2 of those players are 2 of the best defensive players in the conference starting a basketball game. You have Bree Hall, who does not commit turnovers. You have Raven Johnson, who's going to guard the best guard. Let's say that. You have Bree Hall, who's going to guard the best wing. There are a lot of terrific guards out there who are 5'8" and above. A lot of them in the college basketball scene. There are only 2 guards on the same team that can go in a basketball game and legitimately have the opportunity of shutting a star player down. And their names are Raven Johnson and Bree Hall. You have teams out there who will give their pinky toe up for a player like Raven Johnson or Bree Hall because they can guard. A lot of cats can score the basketball. We got a lot of cats on our basketball team who can score the basketball, but there ain't many players in this conference or in college basketball, or for now, you talk about going to the Sweet 16 that can guard you like those players. You can say whatever you want to say about their offense. And you look at the stats and say, oh, such and such, they only got 8. She only combined for 9 points. She only combined for 12 points. We got people who can score. We got a 3rd-ranked offense. What we don't have and what these other teams don't have is players who can guard. We're going to play Maryland, the winner of Maryland, and the winner of Alabama. And you're going to ask Bree Hall and Raven Johnson to guard their best offensive players. There's a whole lot of conversation about some of these other guards, but they can't guard nobody. They can score some points. But they can't guard. And you can't guard, you not going for in this tournament. You got Kentucky, who at the crib. You got Vanderbilt, who's at the crib. You got a lot of cats on these basketball teams who are going home and will be watching the South Carolina women's basketball team, the three-time national champions, this weekend. Michaela Blakes, oh, she can score. She can do it. Oh my God. She's going to be watching. She's going to be watching Bree Hall and Raven Johnson. Make no mistake about it. Say what you will. But keep, like I said before, keep that same energy. You talk about offense, talk about that defense. Talk about the same thing. And what the hell are you going to say about Bree tonight? For the haters of Bree Hall, what do you say when she had almost a perfect stat line? What can you say? And played defense well. What can you say? Like, come on, man. We're not doing that tonight. Not on Captain Will's watch tonight. We ain't doing that. I'm too happy. I'm going to have about 4, 5 Moscow mules. Going to have a good time. Give me a couple appetizers, and I'm going to pass out. That's what Captain Will's going to do tonight. Not sure what you're going to do, but that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to enjoy this victory by the South Carolina women's basketball team. That's what I'm doing tonight. And if you like me, you're going to enjoy it too. My new friend Mariam, she's going to enjoy it. Chuck Bailey, we're going to enjoy this thing tonight. Robbie Wilson, holla at your boy. Like, ain't no doom and gloom up in no South Carolina. We had a great crowd. Should have been sold out. I saw like 12 or 13,000. Should have been sold out. Making no excuses. But it was the last basketball game, 4 hours at Colonial Life Arena for Bree Hall, for Sania Feagin, for Tina Pow, for Skema Walker, might be for Raven Johnson. We don't know. Should have been sold out. That's all I'm saying. Watch it on TV if you want to. You need to be at the basketball arena and enjoy all that energy that we got going on up in there. It was so terrific. Lisa Leslie was there. Plies was there. And you know, just great energy. Great energy tonight. Let's go through these questions. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for chopping up with your man, Captain Will, tonight. I really do appreciate it. Gamecock Chuck, what's up, my guy? How sweet it is. How sweet it is to be loved by you. To move on. A little closer than I like, but we got it done. You right, my brother? A little closer. You know, look at the first quarter, like, you know, and fans got all nervous. Like, Cap Will, what you think? I said, we good. I might sit up here, work. My part don't beat no Kool-Aid. Eventually, you're going to be the team that you are. Eventually, you the averages will line up, and you're going to be who you are. And that's what happened in this basketball game. Carolina had more talent. Carolina had more depth. And Carolina won the basketball game. That's pretty much what it is. Mark Barr, let's go. You got it. A-Up-22. Indiana played both UCLA and Southern Cal tough this year. So not surprised this game was close. You know, you bring up a great point, and they did play both of those teams close. Indiana's a good basketball team. They have a interesting style of play. They're not the biggest team, but they have several big guards. You know, they're well coached. But defensively, it took a little while for us to get together, and Don went in the lab with a pen and the pad and figured the thing out, and then we won by double figures. It is what it is, and they had a solid season, but it's just not going to a Sweet 16. You know, got a bad draw. NK says Sweet 16 bound. Let's go. Karen Richardson. Hey fam, Sweet 16. Let's go. David and SC. Thanks for the stream, Captain Will. You got it. I am Naisha Lewis. Something tells me the next round will be easier than tonight's game. I'm not. If we play Alabama, and thank you for the comment, I am Naisha Lewis. If we play Alabama, we played them before, beat them pretty good. Maryland's a solid. I mean, both of the teams are solid. You know, I think that when the point spread comes out tomorrow night, or Tuesday morning, whichever it happens, I think we'll be favored by 20 points against either one of the teams. You know, it might be a little higher than the point spread was against Indiana, and that would basically mean that Indiana was a better team, so to speak, than Alabama or Maryland. I am not saying that that either one of those teams are better than Indiana, but I'm not saying the opposite either. I'm saying that, Indiana, I think, had a few more, pose a couple more problems than I see Alabama or Maryland having against us. Bottom line up front, we play our brand of basketball, Alabama or Maryland. It don't matter who the opponent is. It doesn't matter. Jason Williams, shot o'clock. You got it. It's terrific. It's terrific knowing that we go into the next round. It's terrific knowing that we go into the Sweet 16 and then the Elite Eight. It's great knowing that. We're legitimately 4 games away from a championship. We're 4 games away from a championship, 2 games away from going to Tampa to play for a championship. And if you're not going to I know I don't want to skip over Birmingham. So but it's hard not to as a Gamecock fan. But I'm not going to talk about teams that we potentially can be playing against in the Final Four until we take care of business in Birmingham. That's what we need. Dr. Paula Tucker, Captain, we did it. Ugly, but done. Tina Pow in the blocks. Oh my God. She said, forget this. I joined the seatbelt party. For sure. You're absolutely right. Like 4 block shots. Pow 5'9". 5'9". 4 block shots. Probably 5'8". I love it, man. Karen Richards, the starting 5 got it done. Experience matters. They were ready for the moment. Yes, you cannot substitute for experience. You cannot substitute for being there in the moment multiple times. You can't make that up. You can't buy that. You can't manufacture that. You have to go through it. You have to go through it. And Sania, Breezy, Raven, Powell, all of them has played so many minutes in championship play, especially Bree, Raven, and Powell. That's just the way it is. And in this basketball game, Dawn leaned more to the ones who've been there before. Yes, Joyce had 23 minutes. Okay, but you look at the stats. MiLaysia had 10 minutes. Tessa, those clutch free throws at the end of the basketball game, sensational. 7 for 8 from the free throw line. She's so clutch. You don't even have to mention nothing. Not to mention them. We'll see how the rotations go on this weekend, but starters played well. First 5 starters played well. The second 5 starters didn't play as well, but the job got done and we're moving on. Nobody going to remember the score. Nobody going to remember. And that's the problem with Gamecock fans at this point where we have to beat everybody by 30. And we don't beat them by 30. There's a problem in the matrix. It's not a problem. Those teams are good. Now in the Sweet 16, anybody can beat anybody. That's the theory. Don't believe it, but that's the theory. Talent going to reign supreme in the end, and we have a whole bunch of it. Christine Skinner said, Breezy Hall, crowner. Larry Kent, you're right as usual. The first half was not pretty, but our depth and determination, and yes, our intelligence, say less, brother, carried the day. This was a team that did not blink at all. Didn't blink whatsoever. This is a basketball team that came out the second half. Okay, in this time, our business is going to win. Stop this plan. Stop all this BS and let's go out and do what we do. And that's what happened. That's what happened. I would have liked, because this is 2 games that Leia's played against Indiana and didn't play well. I would have liked for her to get off to a better start per se, but Don figured it out. Coaching staff figured it out, and it went great. Game was won. It's 2 games this weekend. Leia's going to ball out in one of them. Joyce is going to ball out in one of them. Okay? They go back to the lab and fix some things. Look at some film and be ready to play either Alabama or Maryland this weekend. Can't wait for it. And have a close eye on that game tomorrow about future opponents. Talk a little bit about Indiana as a whole. The team plays a lot of minutes. They do. You talking about Stripling played 27, Garzon played 38, Chloe played 36, Shea 31, Sydney Parrish played 36 minutes. That's a lot of minutes. And overall, they shot 41% for the field, better than I thought they were going to shoot. They averaged 21 3-point attempts per basketball game. They shot 20. They shot 35%. On average, they shoot 36.7%. So they was right along the lines of what they normally do. The problem they had was when Gamecocks started playing their brand, the defense that the Indiana plays showed up. Now, make no mistake about it. That first quarter, we missed a lot of easy shots that we normally would not miss. So that first quarter could have been very differently. And it was just a cold quarter. It's just a cold quarter for us. What if we had, instead of having 9 points, we had 16 points? We just didn't play well that first quarter. Single digits in the first quarter by Gamecocks, number 3 in offensive rating. That's not good. Stripling, number 11, is a solid basketball player. She is. She got good post moves. She's solid. 4 for 9 from the field, 3 for 4 from free throw line. No, only 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 block, 11 points. I like 22 for the most part. Chloe Moore McNeil, 36 minutes, played a bunch. 4 for 7 from the field, 1 for 3 from three-point line. She had 10 points. Crazy thing about what she did, number 22, she had 10 points. I want to say going into the half, she had 10 points. I think she had 8 in the first quarter or something. She didn't score no more. She didn't score no more in the second half. So it was a combination of factors that happened for us to lock her down in the second half. They have a balanced team. They have what, 4 players? 4 players in double figures. They share the load. And I kind of like that about Indiana. They don't have a star on this team. They got a lot of gritty players. Play hard. Play hard. Garzon had 8 rebounds, 4 assists, two steals, a couple of turnovers, 10 points. You know, a shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. They played decent. They played tough, hard-nosed basketball pretty much for 4 quarters. It just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And if we go back to the bracket, I like looking at the bracket now that we're into the Sweet 16, and the path that we have versus the path of these other number 1 ranked or number 1 seeds. If you look at Carolina, so like I said, we played the winner of Alabama and Maryland. So they play tomorrow at 5:00 against on ESPN2, and Alabama's favored by 1.5. So that's gonna be a really good game. And then there's West Virginia and North Carolina. They play at 7:00 tomorrow. West Virginia is favored by 1.5 points, even though North Carolina is the better seed, 3 versus 6. And the winner of that game going to play Duke. All signs head to South Carolina playing Duke in the Elite 8 to go to the Final 4. All signs point to that. Duke got by Oregon and won by 6 points. They're not playing. They didn't play great against Oregon. I thought it was going to be better, but they won the basketball game. Now, in terms of on the bottom half of the Birmingham bracket, Texas plays Illinois tomorrow at 2:00. They favored by 19 points. You got Tennessee playing Ohio State. Tennessee's favored by a couple points. And that's tonight. That game is tonight. So the path for Texas going, to the Sweet 16, Elite 8, and Final 4, because Notre Dame beat Michigan. Okay, so Notre Dame is going to play the winner of TCU and Louisville, number 2 seed, possibly number 2 seed, because TCU is beating the brakes off Louisville right now, 44-26. Then that's who Notre Dame going to play. So that's going to be a 3 seed versus a 2 seed. Notre Dame and TCU going to be a good game. That's going to be a great game right there. I can't wait for that one. If TCU pulls it out, they're up by 18 going almost in the halftime. What I'm saying is the path for Texas, I think it's more difficult than it is for the path for South Carolina. It's going to be tough because I think that TCU and Notre Dame are better than Duke. I think both of them are better. And then we go to the top of the bracket for the Spokane bracket, where UCLA is the number 1 seed. Ole Miss won, doing what Ole Miss does, and UCLA and Ole Miss. UCLA plays Richmond tonight. They're favored by 18 points. They're going to beat Richmond. So it'll be UCLA and Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is going to give UCLA a run for their money. I really do. I think it's going to be a tough out beating Coach Yo for that victory. And then in the bottom half of that, you're talking about LSU playing Florida State on tomorrow at 6:00. That game going to be nice. Even though LSU's a 10.5-point favorite, that game going to be nice. Bottom of that, you're talking about North Carolina State playing Michigan State. Man, these other teams, I'm cool. I am so cool with this bracket that we got. I mean, I'm great with it. I'm great with it. That UCLA Ole Miss game could be a problem. A lot of folks have UCLA advancing right on through. They get through Ole Miss, they're gonna have to play potentially North Carolina State or LSU. One of them two basketball games. And that's going to be some great stuff. I can't wait. Got Southern Cal. Southern Cal got Mississippi State on tomorrow at 10 o'clock. They're going to get them. Not worried about that whatsoever. Southern Cal play Kansas State. I think Southern Cal beat them up pretty good. But the bottom half of that bracket, you got UConn. So the potential of UConn possibly playing Southern Cal to go to the Final Four is real. That is real. That is tough. You can make the case that UConn could have been a number 1 seed. You can make the case, even though their conference sucked. You can still make the case. I don't think it'd be right, but you can make the case. Bottom line up front, you can say that UConn is the 5th number 1 seed. And Southern Cal going to have to get by them. Or vice versa. UConn have to get by Southern Cal. This is good basketball as we going on. My TV ain't never going off. This is going to be crazy. It all lines up for Tampa. It all lines up for Tampa with South Carolina. We take care of our business and play good basketball. Ain't got to be great basketball. We play good basketball and don't beat ourselves. We'll be pulling up in Tampa. That's all we got to do. That's all we got to do. The task is not too hard. The task is definitely conceivable for us to go to Final Four. And then all bets are off. It don't matter where you seated. You just got to win. You have to win. Carolina has a great chance of winning. That's what it's all about. All about being back-to-back champions. All about winning in 25, in 24, and in 2022. That's what it's about. I ain't going to mention 2017, but I'm talking about in the recent years of this dynasty. Carolina is right there for that. All aboard, y'all. All aboard. All aboard, and let's get ready for Birmingham. Let's go through a few more questions. So many questions tonight. So dope, man. So dope. And, and also, if you watch me right now, and you already subscribe, make sure you hit those notifications. The thing it's a bell. It's a bell on my when you become a subscriber or whatever, so you can get the notifications whenever I go live, so we can have the discussion and talk about it. So that way you always know. Gerald Butler, it's a wake-up call. Yes, it will. Yes, it was, my brother. It's a wake-up call. Everything gonna be as easy. Oh, I see the commercial. They got the Under Armour commercial with the girls in it. Okay, here we go. Thank you. This is the one that got the cat looking like Kenny Brooks on there. Got Lay and Chloe and just everybody on there. Under Armour commercial. I love it. I love it. And Don talking about, don't hate, appreciate. And the team and the fan base, the country, all those different things that got an issue with South Carolina. Y'all better dynasties are rare. And we are living in a dynasty with South Carolina. So you better appreciate the greatness that's right in front of you. Don't take it for granted, but appreciate the greatness. It's something special, y'all. It is something special. John McQueen, hey, Cap, I definitely almost started drinking early. Oh, well, shaking my head. Hopefully this is a wake-up call for more wins for that 4th national championship. You got it. You got it. Wake-up call, we had a bad quarter. We had a bad quarter. Quincy W., today's game was very physical. And a lot of contact was allowed as part of the gameplay. It impacted our 2-point percentage. We allowed this game to play at Indiana's pace. Yes, and yes, and yes. I expected a more fast-paced game by South Carolina. When I look at the analytical stuff tomorrow and look at the actual pace of play that we played, I thought it could have been much faster. I thought the third quarter, because with Carolina, we shine in transition offense when we run, but we also shine when we, in my opinion, in a faster paced game. Especially against teams that don't play a lot of players, like Indiana. They played 7 players tonight. They had a couple players played 10, 12 minutes or what have you. I think against Alabama or Maryland, because Maryland I haven't looked a lot about Maryland. I looked a few of their games this season. They run a faster pace, you know, and Alabama, I know what they do. Let's get back to some normalcy and beat South Carolina, you know. But the great comment. Christine Skinner, Chloe Kitts, and Sania Feagin held it down. I don't have enough accolades to talk about Chloe for one. And Sania Feagin does what Sania Feagin does. She, you know, we looking at some great players on the South Carolina basketball team. Make no mistake about it. I saw a mock draft. I was looking at the mock drafts of WNBA and just seeing where our players stand. And you got Tina Powell in the bottom half of the first round. You got Sania Feagin now in the mid part of the second round. Okay. Those two players in this particular mock draft, there are a ton of mock drafts, but this one in particular was one I rock with. I didn't see Ray on there no more in the second or the third round. And I want her to come back for one more year. Now, Sania Feagin's stock has rise so high. What I want is for Breezy's stock to keep playing the way you are playing, and you will get drafted. It is not about all the different stats that certain folks want a player to have. It's about being experienced, being a leader, playing defense, and just playing smart basketball. And that's what Breezy is. Shout out to Breezy's sister Brooklyn too. Shout out to her, who is a baller, a junior. Jay Tilley, style points don't matter in March, and you know it's tough. But I hope offensive days are ahead. Better offensive days are ahead. Defensive fire, how sweet it is. Go Cox. Yeah, for sure. What happens next? How about them upperclassmen? Captain Will Joyce had a bad game, but she come back stronger. Breezy was locked in. The upperclassmen played well. Played like how they are supposed to do and how they will play in these next 4 games. They want a championship. And they are a third of the way there. 2 games down, 4 more to go. That's it. Dr. Paula Tucker, the coach changed up the defense on South Carolina. I agree with you. Danielle Joyner, some of them allowed what Paris said to get to them. They played out of character. How I want to approach that. They I'm watching the South Carolina slap the Sweet 16 board on and thing they do now. Everybody does go into the next round, and Breezy did it. So, and back to what Danielle Joyner said. These are babies, these are kids, and they read so much. So yeah, they had a chip on their shoulder and wanted to play well. I'm telling you, they wanted to beat the crap out of Indiana today. They wanted to make a statement, and they play a little off kilter. They did, because they wanted to impress so badly. Like you're taking a test and you want to get an A so bad. I studied for 77 straight hours. And then I get to taking the test and I forget everything. That type vibe. That's the type vibe that I got from them. Bobby Walker, but we still won by double digits. We just got to say that. They still won. Bobby Walker, defense wins championship. Yes, you're right. Larry Kent, our guards could all be successful pickpockets if we wanted to. The hands are so quick, the opponents don't even see the steal happening. How many steals did we have today? We had 7 steals today. Chloe had 1. Sania had 1. Raven had 1. Powell had 2. Powell played out of her mind today. Fulwiley had 2. How did Fulwiley get 2 steals in 10 minutes? A block in 10 minutes. That girl's so special. Mark Barr, Chloe, lots of hearts. Tyra Johnson, Chloe. Yeah. Fresh cut grass, big Chloe. Lots of comments about Chloe killing the game. Chloe is doing the thing. Chloe is without a doubt the best player on this team this season. Chloe will be a high first-round pick in WNBA draft next season. Chloe has the potential to be all SEC player of the year next year, if it's done correctly. If it's done correctly, she has that opportunity to have that chance. It's something, man. It's something. It is fun. It is fun sharing. It's fun sharing about the growth of these players, especially Chloe. Because she was getting so much hate, man. So she got to gain weight. She's falling down too much. She's doing this right there. That fall away jumper that Chloe be doing is sweet. That 3-point basket that Chloe has developed this year, you're going to see a whole lot more of that next season. She is very comfortable shooting that shot now. Chloe is our leading rebounder, almost 10 rebounds per basketball game in 25 minutes or less. Plays about 22, 23 minutes per basketball game now. Chloe's playing, if Chloe Kitts was playing 32 minutes a game, Chloe would probably be averaging about 17 points and 11 rebounds. I'm gonna say more. If Chloe played 32 minutes per basketball game, Chloe would probably be averaging 17 points and about 13 rebounds. Okay? For the player that was being clowned as being too skinny and falling down too much last year. Y'all remember that? I remember it. I remember it in my comments. I remember it. Chloe has exceeded expectations this year with her level of play. We need to understand when Dawn Staley calls out certain players, that means that they balled their butt off during the summer. They did everything the right way during the summer. And she said that about Chloe, and she said about that about Sania Feagin. She mentioned that MiLaysia wanted to start, and everybody on this team wants to start. Make no mistake about it. But MiLaysia told her that she wanted to start. Now, next year, Fulwiley will be starting. We all know that. Fulwiley will be starting, and Fulwiley will be playing about 25. She'll be playing the normal minutes that a team to pow and all these Raven and so forth. She's gonna be getting those stats. She's gonna be getting those buckets that she deserves in the minutes that she will be playing. I look for Maddy to play a similar role next year that Fulwiley did last year. I expect Maddy to play about 15 to 17 minutes next year. It's a process. It's a process, but it's a winning process, y'all. This is a winning process. Make no mistake about it. This is a process that goes on and on and on and on. After Monday, it's going to be 16 teams left. 16 teams left to get that ring in April. 16 teams left. But it would be 16 teams left. But in actuality, it's not 16 teams who can win the championship. There'll be some teams in there will still be in there with the desire, the want to win the championship. But make no mistake about it. It's only about 4 or 5 teams going to be in this final 16 that can win a championship, that can go to their respective Sweet 16s, win those basketball games, go to the Final Four where you're playing the best of the best and win. The Cinderella story is cool. It's cool. But at the end of the day, most times or not, especially in women's basketball, talent rises to the top. And South Carolina is the most talented basketball team in the country. That is a fact. UCLA, great basketball team. Southern Cal, probably got the best basketball player in the country. Notre Dame, terrific. Hannah Hidalgo is nice. Texas, Madison Booker is a baller. Texas and Vic Shaver are nice. UConn, Sarah Strong, Paige Beckers, I can go on and on and on. It's going to be so much fun over the next couple of weeks to see how this thing pales out, because we got to play each other. Ain't no ducking. Ain't no saying this back, right? Saying this, that, and the third. It is the real. We got to play each other. Notre Dame got to play. North Carolina State got to play. Everybody going to have to play. And we're going to see who is the champion. We're going to see. Do I think South Carolina is going to go to the Final Four? Hell yeah, I do. For sure. For sure. And that is not being the super fan that I am. That's just keeping it real. If South Carolina loses This is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. South Carolina is going to be favorite in every game of this tournament. Every game of this tournament. I don't care if it's Southern Cal. I don't care if it's UCLA, UConn, Texas. I don't care whoever the team is. South Carolina will be favored in every game it plays in this tournament because South Carolina is still the favorite to win the championship. So if Carolina loses, it's an upset. But Carolina is supposed to win every game going forward. Okay? Don't get confused about these number one seeds, overall seeds, whatever seeds, all this other and whatever ESPN is telling people and blah, 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 blah. South Carolina will be favored in every single game left that we're in. If we play Alabama in Birmingham, we'll be favored by 15 to 20 points. Same thing with Maryland. 15 to 20, probably 22 points against Maryland. That is a fact. We play Duke, we'll be favored by 10 plus points. That is the truth. That is the truth. And you're talking about a betting man like your man Captain Will. That is what I do. That is the truth. So the doom and gloom that we sometimes hear from South Carolina Gamecock fans is not real. It's not real. If you bet on South Carolina to win the championship, all money you get back is money you put in. That's it. Maybe for every dollar you win $1.50. That's the real, because you're the favorite. You are the favorite. Gamecocks do what we're supposed to do. We cutting down the nets in Tampa, Florida. We having a good old time at the expense of whatever team that we playing. That's just the realness. That's the facts of the matter. Gamecocks are a great basketball team every single year. Were there some issues this year? For sure. Were there some injuries this year? For sure. Were there some discomfort in the early part of the season? For sure. Trying to get the offense right and things like that. But we are a very, very, very talented team who I believe is going to win the championship. Let's go a few more questions, then we're going to cancel this thing out. I'm telling you, this has been good. Jacob Nahart, when you look at the stats, this game was a perfect example of why they win as a team. When one is down, another picks it up. Bro, I couldn't have said that even better. I literally couldn't have said it any better. You have, there was a play. Joyce made a mistake, had a turnover or something of that nature. And you saw, I don't know if you can see it on television, but when you was there at the game, you saw Raven pulling Joyce to the side and talking to her. These are the unseen things about our leaders of the basketball team. Raven could have been saying, hey, keep your head up. Raven could have been saying, yo, keep going. We're going to need you. All those great things. Because we are going to need Joyce. We're going to need her again in the next round. We're going to need her. And we're going to need her to perform. You're not going to see Joyce having no 5 points in this next round. I don't care who we playing. Joyce Edwards will have 18 to 25 points on the next game. Joyce ain't going to have no bad game in a row like that. Joyce studying film right now. Right now. That's the type of player she is. That's why she's so academically gifted. That's why she was all state and all world in 3 sports her senior year in high school, while also having over a 5.0 GPA. That was Joyce Edwards. She is an overachiever. And it is amazing when you have overachievers who are one of the most athletic players on the court. You have a player who's number 1 through number 3 in terms of ranking in their class, who is an overachiever, who wants to get better and better. So the acceleration of Joyce this year. Wait till after this offseason. We come back bigger, better, and do our thing. But that's the thing we don't talk about. We always want to talk negatively about a Raven Johnson. We want to hear those. Obviously not everybody. Just got a select few that talk negatively about her. but those are called leadership traits. Leadership traits. And coming from a man from the military, that's what you love. Because you're not gonna get everything right every single time. You're not. Things are gonna happen. But you got to pick it up and move on. That's about being successful. And Joyce is about being successful. And the greatest leaders, here's the thing, yo. The greatest leaders don't have to be the best player. We coming from the Army, I've met terrific leaders. And we always talk about the consummate professional. We talk about the consummate soldier that does everything right. I know leaders when I was in the Army who couldn't run. I know leaders where I had to run for them because they would fall out of runs because they didn't want to be falling out, in front of the soldiers. But they can do everything else right. They just couldn't run. And that could be physically because they got some, busted up knees or falling out of a vehicle or whatever the case may be. But the greatest leaders does not have to be the best player on the basketball team. Okay? That's some word of thought from Captain Will tonight. Keep it real. Where was we at? Dr. Paula Tucker, Indiana University. Are you crazy? That's all I'm gonna say. Dr. Paula Tucker, you a trip. You are a trip, girl. Mothballs, uniform smells, bye-bye. See you next year. You are funny to me. Jason B, the starters led the way. This is why you trust Dawn. Their experience got the W. And this is why we're going to continue to trust Dawn. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Trust it. Trust it. I like that Maddy got in for a minute or two. I feel for Maddy. I feel for Maddy. Maddy is like, I want Maddy. I want Maddy to play. Let me just say it like that right there. I want Maddy to play. Maddy is a sensational basketball player. Okay. When I saw her in high school, she was a bucket getter. And she still is a bucket getter. Okay. I am a huge fan of Maddy McDaniel. I'm a huge fan of her family. Beautiful family. I want her to play. I can't wait till next year when she plays more. We have a diamond in the rough in Maddy McDaniel who's going to shine like who's going to shine so bright next year. I am telling you, when the chains come off of Maddy McDaniel, y'all going to see something special in this young lady. Y'all ain't seen it. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. Y'all ain't seen Maddy McDaniel yet. What we seeing right now, that ain't Maddy. That is not Maddy. That is not Maddy. When Maddy is unleashed, because that's what it is right now. When she gets unleashed and gets the freedom to ball, like she played in high school, you don't know how good this girl is. I'm just saying, this girl is crazy good. That what we're seeing right now is not Maddy. It's not. It's not. That version I didn't see in high school. The version of Maddy that I saw would light you up and tell you that I lit you up. That's Maddy. Just keeping it real. We ain't seen Maddy McDaniel yet. Mighty Mouse, nope. We ain't seen her. Mark my word now. Today, March 23rd. Y'all was like, damn, Maddy is it. I'm telling you, that girl is nice. Google her. Go to YouTube, not right now, but go to YouTube and check out Maddy in high school. Maddy give you that work. She gives you that work. And she's going to be special for this basketball team. Brittany Wilson,
Sania did her thing too. She holds that backcourt down. Sania is what do you call it? The quarterback of the defense, if you will. You can hear her calling out the plays. You can hear calling out, switches. You can hear being vocal. It's all about communication, especially when a lot of teams doing this back cutting and things, trying to, lots of screening to get these open shooters. Good that we have a lot of athletic players who can fight off screens and also be physical with them, even though we don't get the calls. Reggie said Joyce is a freshman. She will learn. They are starting to double team her a lot. Joyce Edwards, because she, and that's a great point, Reggie. Joyce Edwards, because she's our leading scorer in this basketball team, is if not number one, is number two on this team on the scouting report. With that being the case, then other players have to produce. Now, thankfully, we have other players that will produce. You have Chloe, you have Sania, who will produce. Okay, but you see that there are coverages that Joyce hasn't seen before. You see it. Therefore, you're going to see these turnovers because these teams got more time to prepare for a player like Joyce Edwards. I say again, this is the worst Joyce will be as a player in South Carolina. This is worse. I still believe when we in the championship in a couple of weeks that Joyce will be on the all-tournament team. I believe that because I think her next 4 games are going to be crazy. I believe that. And I'm still holding on to the faith that Joyce is going to be the most outstanding player. I think she's going to lead this basketball team in scoring. And I think that this was just a hiccup along the way to getting the championship. A lot will be discussed. A lot will be fixed as we move on to the next game. Brittany Nelson Don had her March Madness before Madness, say less. Schedules prepared them for everything, for sure. And she did. She did. Crazy number one schedule. I've talked about that over and over and over this year. Schedules matter. That's why, going into the Sweet 16 and potentially the Elite 8, you playing 2 teams that you've already beaten handedly. Beating both of those teams by double digits, if I remember correctly. Let's go back. Let's go back to those basketball games. Beat Duke by 11 points. Alabama. What was the score? Alabama. Beat them by 18 points in Alabama. Okay. So both of those teams you won by double digits. Duke is a good basketball team. They're going to play great defense. They similar in style and in that degree. South Carolina has more talent. Carolina has more talent. Karen Richardson put some respect on Breeze's name. Y'all better do it. Y'all better put some respect on Breeze's name. For whatever haters they may be, put some respect on it. Breezy is true. Breezy, we talking about tournament Tessa. Breezy is a baller in tournament time. She is. You got Breezy tough, man. Breezy's a dog. You watch her eyes. Breezy about that life. I'm gonna let you know. That girl from Ohio. Breezy about that life. She really is. Bobby Walker, adjustments win games, no matter when by 1 or 100. Say less. Destin said Hollywood Raven. Tiana, I'm sorry. Do we have an answer against UConn and UCLA, Lauren Betts? The problem with UCLA, and thank you for the comment, or the question, I should say. The problem with UCLA was that Lauren Betts didn't beat us. We played Lauren Betts well. The other players got us. The other players did. We lost by 15. This was a 6th, 7th game of the season. And we got drugged. That first quarter, UCLA scored with 20, we had 10. Second quarter, UCLA scored 23, we had 12. Made some adjustments in the second, third, and fourth quarter, and we outscored them. We scored 40, they scored 34. But that first and second quarter, we didn't have nothing for them. We had nothing for them. The problem with that basketball game was that we had they shot 48% from the field and shot 48% from the three-point line. UCLA, for all intents and purposes, played their best game of the season, their 5th game of the season. Real talk. Real talk. They played their best game of the season against us. They were dynamic versus us. Offensively, we were still trying to figure it out. This is way early in the season. We shot 36% from the field. They beat us in rebounds. They had 41. We had 34. They beat us. It just wasn't. We never led in that basketball game. Never led. We was down by 23 at one point. We never led in that basketball game. And we go individually in terms of scoring. Chloe is our best player. At this point of the year, Chloe was not our best player. Chloe played 12 minutes. Chloe was 1 for 7 from the field, 7 rebounds and 2 points. There was a problem. Sania had 13 minutes. Bree, 28 minutes. Only ones, Pow. Shot the lights out. Powell had 18, 20 points. 7 for 13, 4 for 4 from 3. She played well. Tessa played well. This was a game also where Fulwiley only played 3 minutes. 3 minutes. That's what Fulwiley played. That Fulwiley and this Fulwiley are two different people. That game there, Maddy played 20 minutes. Played 20 minutes. This was before the injury. She had 4 points, 4 assists, and 2 steals. Early on. Watkins played 30 minutes. Watkins not here anymore. 3 for 8 from the field. And going back to the question you're talking about, Lauren Betts. Lauren Betts played 37 minutes, had 14 rebounds and 11 points. She played a solid game. But what beat us was Kiki Rice had 11 points, 5 for 11 from the field. Alina had 27 minutes, 13 points. The players, Tamia Garner didn't have a great game. Lauren Betts did a thing. We had a good plan for her in this basketball game, but some of them other players balled out and beat us down. Well, do I think that's going to happen again? No. I think it'll be more so what happened in the third and fourth quarter in this basketball game. Make no mistake about it. That game was in LA. It was early in the season. This team was still learning how to win with this combination. Ashlyn Watkins was in and out of the season. There was a lot of things have changed between that game then and this game now. If we played them in the championship, in terms of UConn, we ain't show up. We ain't show up in that basketball game. We play a shell of ourselves, and we needed real talk. We needed an ass whooping against UConn. We really did, because there were some things that were showed in that basketball game that did not look pretty. It was. Carolina don't lose 29 points against nobody. It's a shock when Carolina loses by 9 points. But to lose like that at home the way we did, got beat down like they stole something, it was nothing. It was pretty bad, man. It was pretty bad, and we shot horrifically bad. We shot bad. 3 for 17 from 3. We shot too many 3-pointers. 3-pointers ain't going in. We gonna shoot them. Kind of thing inside. UConn had 19 more rebounds than we did. Now, UConn gonna have to get past a couple teams where they even think about playing against South Carolina again. That's the fact. Because the only way we'll play UConn is in the championship game. I would love to see it. I would love to see either one of those games again. Breezy and Raven are the best defenders I've seen in a long time. This one, Larry Kent. I've seen it in a long time. And MiLaysia is headed to that level. She sure is. I love watching these girls defend. I do. I take so much pride in watching our girls play defense. So much pride. It's just so cool to see the intensity of defense, the attention to detail on defense. You're talking about the top 10 team in defensive rating, South Carolina. Top 3 in 2-point percentage, top 10 team in field goal percentage allowed, 5th in block shots. That's only going to go up after this basketball game because we had 7 block shots. The team that Papa had 4. Defensively, we are fine. We're fine defensively. It's just sometimes the raggedness of our offense sometimes gets off track. And that's what happened in that first quarter and partially of that second quarter. Third quarter, it was Carolina at its finest. And then fourth quarter, we pulled back 13 points. They had 13 points. Get the game over so we can go to Birmingham. Defensively not work. Defense is going to travel. Because you're gonna have Breezy and Ray playing about 30 minutes apiece. So that defense is gonna travel with us. Offensively, we just gotta shoot 41, 42% from the field. That's it for the game. We don't need to have a quarter where we shoot about 22% from the field. Nah, that's not what needs to happen. That's not Gamecock basketball. Stay locked in offensively. Because defense is going to be fine. The reason we lost to teams like UConn, they beat us down in rebounding. That ain't happening again. UConn had 48 rebounds. We had 29. That's like somebody walking into your house and taking your remote control. You don't do that. You ain't coming to Captain Will's crib and talking about you're going to take my remote control and watch what you want to watch. That's my remote control. And sit in my chair. You ain't going to do that. You ain't going to my refrigerator and get my favorite drink. You ain't going to do no stuff like that. Go in there and make a sandwich with the good bread. Nobody doing no mess like that. Not in my crib. That's how it was. They came over to our crib, Colonial Life Arena. They sat down in our favorite chair. They took the remote, put it on to UConn basketball, some highlights. They got the good bread, the good Wonder Bread, and got some good bologna and the good cheese. Slapped it on there, got a little bit of mayo, and sat down, had the feet up on the good chair. We don't need that mess. That's what happened. They beat us in every single phase of the game. And then we came out of that with that loss and got stronger and stronger. Sometimes, I'm just saying, sometimes you got to get whooped up on. Sometimes you got to go to the woodshed. Or sometimes like in the 70s and early 80s when the parents come out there and beat you in front of all the rest of the kids because you've been being bad. I wish they did that now in school. The world would be different. The world would be different if the parents beat the kids down like we got beat down in the 70s and 80s. I'm just letting you know. You remember that fear? You do bad, you get that phone call back home. Now I don't know if everybody mama was like my mama. But you know in that phone call, and I was a good kid. I ain't gonna front. I was a good kid, I was a smart kid, I was all those things. But that fear factor of knowing, because I saw a whole lot of parents come up there and whoop up on some kids. I'm just saying. So I'm like, my mom ain't never come up there to beat me in front of these people. And my brother, on the other hand, it was different. It is like, But that's what happened against us. He came and smacked us around in front of our family. I wish we would play UConn in the finals. I wish. Everything being great, that would make my year. We played UConn in the Final Four and get back. We owe them a couple licks. Now, I'm gonna get a couple too. Skim said, I'm happy that South Carolina won. Really? Really, bro? Are you really happy that we won? I don't think so. I think that you want us to lose. And that's coming from my heart. I think you want us to lose. I'm not sure if you're a Gamecock fan. I don't know if you're just a hater. I don't know what it is. I'm still trying to figure it out. Because I don't read all the comments. It's just too many to read. But I know this right here. It's a lot of stuff that can be coming out your mouth sometimes that don't sound like a Gamecock fan. I'm just saying. These still our babies. These still our we celebrate the goods and the bads, the happy and the sad. But what we ain't gonna do is tear down these girls. We ain't gonna do that. So if you want to be a part of the process and celebrating our girls, through the happy and the sad, the good, the bad, however it's gonna be, continue to rock with Captain Will. But that energy I can't rock with. I can't rock because it's my girls. It's my girls. You know, I just can't. I got 3 of them. I just can't allow. I can't allow that. I don't need that bad energy to go with this stuff, man. So either be down, what's the old terms? Sit on the pot and piss, or go away, get out the pot. I don't know where to go. What the old folks said. I guess I'm turning to old folk. I'm just keeping it real with you, man. I'm just keeping it real. These are babies. It's our babies. So show them some love. Michelle Smith, Bree Clutch Hall. That's a good name. Clutch Hall. I like me some Breezy Hall. I do. I really do. I enjoy watching her play basketball. I do. So much effort, so much intensity, so much greatness. Defensively, I love Breezy Hall. I ain't going front. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I love her on the defensive end. It makes me happy. It really does. And if you love defense, if you love all-around basketball, you should love Breezy Hall. Beautiful family, great family, smart. The girl graduated in 3 years. 3 years. Special. This team is nice. And we're going to talk about it. I don't know if I'm going to go live tomorrow or not, depending on what time I get back to the crib and get some rest. But, oh, yeah, it's going down. We got a live week this week, and we're going to continue to turn up as only as we can do. This concludes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like. Make sure you share. Make sure you hit that notification saying that, yo, Captain Will is on, okay? Because you're not rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Let's go. Let's go.